Hello, so today I will be reviewing the book, The Housemaid's Secret. Wait. So basically, this book is the second book to The Housemaid. And the only reason I read The Housemaid was because I read Verity. And they said if you liked Verity, you're going to love The Housemaid. If you like The Housemaid, you're going to love The Housemaid's Secret. Now, this book took me 3 days to read, only because I had stuff going on. But honestly, the very first day that I read this book, I had made it to like right here. And this is what I was reading for like the other 2 days, just because I had work and everything going on. And I had some company. So yeah, life got in the way. But had I have not had stuff going on, this book would have been done in 1 day. This was a really great book. It was better than The Housemaid. And as you know, just so you know, when I do reviews, book reviews, I do like to talk about the whole book. I do have spoilers. This is not just like I'm gonna just basically talk about the back of the book and then you go buy the book. This is an in-detail video about The Housemaid's Secret. Some parts that I like, some parts that I enjoy. Let's have a discussion down below about parts that you enjoyed. And so, yeah, there's a lot of spoilers. If you don't like spoilers, if you have not read this book, I wouldn't continue watching this video. So anyways, for those of us that know this book, I know I'm very late to this book. Let's not even talk about that. But, so basically in The Housemaid, we all know how Millie has a prison record. We all know how we all know how Millie kind of ended a guy's life because he was trying to assault her friend. And she went to prison for 10 years. We all know how that happened. And then we know how she got the little cleaning job, and she was so thankful for getting that cleaning job. I am so sorry, but I do not remember the names of those people. I only remember Millie's name. And we know how she got a job for them, and she was falling in love with her boss, even though her boss was married and stuff. And so they were sneaking around, having an affair, and then we all know how the wife was being a bitch. And then we find out that he was actually, I forgot what they called him. They actually had a word for him. But we basically found out how he is crazy. Crazy. And homegirl basically hired Millie so that she would end his life because she knows how Millie was in prison for that, right? And then at the end of the book, now I will just say, I am not disappointed at all with this book. I'm not disappointed at all. But what I do want to comment on is how at the end of the book, The Housemaid, even though I guess it makes sense in here, but at the end of the book in Housemaids, I thought that it was going to continue in here about how, you know, in the epilogue, however you call it, at the end, she was at this house and she was applying for a cleaning job, and then the girl went like this and showed her basically why she was hiring her for a cleaning job, right? So I thought that that's where this was going to continue. It didn't though. I wasn't too upset because, I mean, they did bring it up about how, you know, she went around and that was her job for a little bit. She was making money like that, helping girls get out of abusive relationships and everything. And also, can I talk, oh, and I do remember Enzo's name, but can we talk about how she ended up with Enzo? Like, I realized the wife that was getting abused didn't want to be with Enzo, and she just kind of wanted to, like, go on her way. How did Millie make things happen with Enzo? I mean, they talk about it in here, but, like, Enzo, you would have thought Enzo would have been done after the wife, okay? But to each their own. That was a shocker for me. I like it, though, because that's cute. Like, Enzo got to stick around, okay? So now let's talk about this book. I'm so sorry. But, so in the beginning of this book, I like how she's already working for somebody, and it's just a normal cleaning job that she's doing because Enzo went back home because his mom was sick and dying. So she was just kind of fending for herself, and she was trying to find a job because she didn't want to do the rescue missions alone because she felt like it was a her and Enzo thing, and she just felt like she couldn't do it alone because Enzo had a lot of good resources and everything, which is understandable. So homegirl loses her job because the little girl is calling Millie mommy, and homegirl is tripping, okay? The girl that hired her, the actual mom, is tripping, just like, oh, why you have my daughter calling you mom? So she loses her job. And then, she is looking for all these jobs, and it's kind of hard for her to find a job because we know of her criminal record and everything. And I was so proud of her for going to school, okay? And I was okay with Brock. Like, when I seen Brock as a love interest, I was like, okay, well, I wanted the best for Millie. I'm glad that she stayed with Enzo, but I mean, damn, she could have had Brock. Brock just kind of, why couldn't we get an apology from Brock at that? But anyways, so she gets this job with, his name is supposed to be Douglas, and then homegirl's name was Wendy. So Douglas and Wendy. Wendy is supposed to be getting abused, right? Really, really abused. But Millie doesn't know this. Douglas hires her to clean the house as a cleaner, like she normally does. They're paying her really, really well. And so Millie is noticing how Wendy just doesn't come out the room. She never met Wendy. And, you know, it's kind of weird, right? So, so she's cleaning the house and everything, and then she hears something happen in the room, and so she goes and she checks on Wendy. And basically, we're just gonna skip all the boring parts. Basically, she sees that Wendy is getting abused, and Wendy tells Millie that she got her number from one of her old clients that she has helped before. And then she is Wendy is telling Millie about how she's getting abused. She's scared for her life. She's trying to leave. She wants to leave. Millie's telling her that she'll help her. She has her. She can do it, you know. And Wendy is really acting scared for her life. Anyways, Millie gets a car and gets Wendy to the hotel and basically helps her escape, right? So then Enzo comes back into play, and I'm like, damn, y'all had to bring Enzo back? Y'all had to bring him back? And Brock is trying to get Millie to move in with him. Brock is trying to get Millie to move in with him so that they could be together and start like a family and stuff, and Millie is just not feeling it, right? Because Millie has not told Brock about how she has a prison record, and she feels like Brock would leave her, which we come to find out that he did. But that was just crazy. Like, girl, just tell him. You've been with him for how long? Just tell him. And then the fact that Enzo was just stalking her and talking about yeah, I'm just being your bodyguard, you know, just making sure that you're okay, make sure that you're safe. And then Millie had a great point. Why didn't you just call me and tell me that you were back? Like, what is going on? So, but she tells him to stop following her, which I feel like she should have just let him keep following her. And I thought that he was still going to follow her, because that would have helped so much stuff in this story. But I get why he did it, and I still like how the book turned out. Anyways, Wendy calls Millie and says, like, no, he found me. I'm back at the house, right? So Millie goes back to the house, and Wendy shows Millie the gun that she found in the bookshelf. And Millie is like, no, you don't want to end his life like that. Like, trust me, you don't want to go to prison. Like, that is just something that you don't want to do. Yada, yada, yada. You're going to be okay. We're going to get you out of here. And so Wendy is just like, yeah, I can't take it anymore. Da, 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 da. So basically, Douglas is telling Millie, like, hey, I think we're going to have to let you go, right? Because too much stuff is happening. He's told her not to talk to his wife. She has talked to his wife. And, I mean, when she disappeared at the hotel, he didn't know that Millie was the one that took her to the hotel. But still, he was just like, it's probably time for you to go, right? So, basically, Millie is like, okay, it's game time. We got to go ahead and get you out of this house. And for real this time. So, Millie goes to the house to check on, Wendy, and Douglas is strangling Wendy, right? So Millie has to go and fetch the gun, and she shoots Douglas, and he falls on the floor dead, right? So Wendy is just like, go ahead and leave, I'll take the fall for this, like, don't worry about it, da da da. So Millie leaves. The cops show up to Millie's house, and they're like, so we're gonna need you to come down to the station. And basically, Wendy did not take the fall at all. Actually, Wendy set up Millie and framed her for everything, right? But they didn't arrest Millie right then and there because they didn't have enough evidence. And the crazy part is she called Brock because, you know, Brock is, Brock is a lawyer So she wanted him to defend her. And then we come to find out that he's actually a really crappy person, in my opinion, personal opinion. I mean, I get it, dude. You were lied to. I get it. Because Wendy was saying that Millie was having an affair with Douglas. Like, I get it, and it doesn't look too good because she was always blowing you off for dinner and stuff. But at the end of the day, if you say you love her, you could still defend her. You could still listen to her. Like, a prison record shouldn't change anything. It's from years ago. I'm a whole woman now. You feel me? So that was really, really, really disappointing. But I guess for the book, right? So basically he's saying that he can't defend her and stuff, and basically ghost her. And Millie hasn't been arrested yet, but now Millie knows that she needs to call Enzo. And so she calls Enzo, and come to find out, we go to Act 2, or I think it's Act 2 or Act 3, and we get Wendy's side of the story. And oh my God, is Wendy crazy. Now, when I read this book, I sure did think that Wendy was getting abused and everything. Let me tell you that much. And then I was reading her side, and I was like, okay, was he mentally abusive at least? No. Homegirl just let the money get to her head, and she just wanted to be this little rich girl and just have all the money in the world and didn't want to share. And I'm just like, girl, you were a poor person before, and you can't give back to charity? Are you crazy? Then come to find out, Millie didn't even kill Douglas. So Russell is the guy that Millie was having, that Wendy was having an affair with. And so Millie shot Russell with a blank, but she didn't know that. So that was part of Wendy's plan, because Douglas found out that Wendy was having an affair with Russell, and so he was gonna divorce her, and she was like, okay, fine, we can divorce, whatever, because she was supposed to get $10 million in the will, right? And Douglas was like, yeah, if we divorce, I have like proof of you cheating and everything, so you're not gonna get that $10 million. So basically she refused to divorce Douglas, but she still wasn't going to get anything. Like, he wasn't going to turn on her credit cards or nothing, right? So she came up with the idea to go ahead and finish off Douglas so that she can go ahead and get all the money, because if she finishes him off, then she gets all of the money, right? So basically Russell and Wendy set up Millie, said it looks like she killed Douglas, right? But then they invite Douglas over, and Wendy shoots Douglas, and Douglas actually dies, the real Douglas. Then she finds out in the will that she's not going to get any of the money. All of his money is going to charity. And the thing is, he wanted to get back with her and was just like, let's just be broke. Let's just give the money to charity. Like, let's just, you know. And it's like, why wouldn't you want to give back? Like, you know how hard it is to be broke. Why wouldn't you want to go and spend your money towards helping people in need, right? So she didn't want to do that. But whole book was a plot twist. Okay, whole book was a plot twist. And then basically Enzo finds out Russell was not Douglas, and basically Millie was played. And so Millie goes and she talks to like Russell's wife, because Russell was married also, and basically gives her some heart disease pills to go ahead and slip and give to Wendy. And she has Wendy write down a confession about how she you know, took Douglas's wife, framed Millie, and then she decided to off herself and off Russell, right? So that was a plot twist too, because I really thought Millie went and showed up and was gonna finish the job, right? But no, she didn't. It was homegirl, and Millie was no longer wanted because there was actually a camera the whole time in the back of the building that Wendy did not know about. And so Millie got off scot-free. So it was actually a really, really good book. My next book that I will be reading will be Caraval. And I know I'm very, very late to this one, but you guys have had great reviews on this, and I just can't wait to read it. So this will be my next project, and then I'll go ahead and review this one for you guys. I feel like this is probably going to take me a while to read. It might not. We'll see. But yeah, this will be the one that I read. And I really, really liked this book. I liked how her and Enzo got back together. I liked how, you know, Russell's wife got her revenge, and that probably felt really good for her. I like how Millie got off scot-free, and honestly, I would love another book in this series. I feel like Frida can really pull it off, you know? Like, I feel like it wouldn't be stupid, it wouldn't be a drag, it wouldn't be the same thing, because I was expecting this to be the same thing. Like, okay, my wife is going to get abused, Millie's going to save her. this was crazy. This was probably way better than the first book for me. So, yeah, I would enjoy another book from this series for real. So, yeah, I'm sorry that the video was long, but let me know your opinions in the comment. Let me know what parts you liked, what parts you want to talk about, and yeah, that's that.